Welcome back to another podcast with ProNex. I'm your host, Karol Clark, and back by popular demand, we have Dr. Chu with us. She's going to talk a bit about her transit. She's talked about her transition already from bariatric surgery to lifestyle medicine, but she's also somewhat of a tech geek, and she's going to talk about some of the gaps that are out there in terms of software applications and why she chose the software that she did and how she's an integral part of its development. So welcome back, Dr. Chu. Thanks for being here. And if you
Thanks,
could
Carol.
just share with us a little bit about some of the gaps you saw after doing thousands of bariatric surgeries and now transition to lifestyle medicine, the software needs out there, and why you chose ProNex, and a little bit about your involvement in the software development.
Sure. So I've been with ProNex for when I first started my career in bariatric surgery. Fred was able to help me create an EMR that was able to allow us to really accomplish a lot of the pre-surgical task. As bariatric surgery requires a very long period before surgery due to the requirements. And so we created the patient flow module, which really, we were tracking our clearances on paper for most of the time, but it came to the point where you had to track down the piece of paper every time a patient came into the office. So we were able to digitalize all that and run little reports about whose site clearance needs to be tracked and whose cardiology clearance needs to be tracked, or running reports such as this patient has completed 70% of their requirements, where are they lacking? So it really streamlined our workflow in an amazing format so that we were able to track all that. And of course, it was easy to put in through our system. And then when we made any changes, we could see how well we did in efficiency. So that was just amazing, and it was way ahead of its time for.
I was going to say, I'm so glad you were involved in that because it was a life changer for our practice as well for bariatric surgery. A team loved it, and it really increased our efficiency and conversion rates, and patients loved it too. So definitely patient flow for any bariatric surgeon, tracking everything in an Excel spreadsheet or on by paper. It is a game changer for sure.
It was well, I was with them for about 10 years, and then I joined a big hospital group, and we use a national EMR that did not allow us to use that. So I had to go back to paper. And so we finally got convinced them to purchase the patient flow again. And it was so nice to really don't know how much you miss something until it was taken away.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now you're in lifestyle medicine, and so you're involved in the trenches again in terms of creating some really cool software. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so with lifestyle management, well, while I was doing bariatrics and we were trying to track their lifestyle changes and all that, it was really hard to keep track of what the patient was doing. And you had to wait 3 months for them to come back to give you an update on how they were succeeding. And usually the week before they come see you, their diet's really good. So that when I asked them what they're eating this week, it's really they'll say they started exercising. Well, I'll say, how long? I was just last week I started exercising. So when I transitioned to lifestyle medicine, we really needed something that could help deliver these lifestyle changes and be able to track it. So Fred's lifestyle modification platform or lifestyle medicine platform really allow us to prescribe just some of the simple lifestyle changes in terms of nutrition, activity, sleep even, or stress management. And we're able to prescribe these just like a meditate for 10 minutes 3 times a week kind of deal. And so the software allows us to prescribe this, and the patients are able to actually track it. So they have to get on their site and track their actions. And I know when I'm tracking my actions, I'm really staying on top of it. It's when you don't think about it, especially meal logging. If you don't track your meals, it's hard to stay on course. See, the core, we're allowed to even take pictures of our meals, and they may not want to log what they ate, but if they can just keep track of their pictures every day, then that's something that we can use as a discussion point about how to make those simple improvements, because sometimes you just don't remember what you ate. So it's
Yes.
nice to get a picture of people, what they're eating.
That's awesome. And you've been really involved in one other aspect, which is GLP-1 tracking, which is so common for not only bariatric surgeons, but anyone who's in the weight loss field particularly. Can you talk a little bit about the GLP-1 module and what that entails?
So a lot of patients wait. Well, they'll have some side effects from the GLP-1, but they don't call the office. And so they'll wait for their visit to let us know. And in the meantime, they probably stopped it and then regress and then gain some weight and all that. So we could start all over when they come back in. But I needed something that would track how they're doing weekly. So the module will alert them when their medication is due. And if they happen to skip it, they need to provide us with some information of why. And then if there's something alarming, we can act on it right away. We're able to call them, say, hey, what's going on? Sometimes they just want to bother the office and call and get some answering machine and all that. So I think if they're able to track there in the portal and let us know how they're feeling, we can really help them real time instead of waiting. So you don't have this weight regain, getting off medicine and all that. So the compliance is just amazing. So I'm really looking forward to rolling this out.
Right. And you've also included some AI.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's
Software?
amazing. So we use that to educate them. We try to deliver, we have a program in the software where every week they get a little educational information about their medication of use. And then based on their response, AI can give them a little bit more information.
That's awesome. So, in a nutshell, for you, particularly offering lifestyle medicine, longevity, GLP-1 management, all those sorts of things, what are the top differentiating factors for the core LMP and the GLP-1 module that have really impacted you in your practice and solidified your decision to use ProNex as your software solution?
Probably the number one would be the patient management and tracking, being able to stay connected with them, even between the visits. And then number one key of success is accountability.
Yeah.
And so we're able to help them stay accountable with this tool. And it's an amazing tool, technology, so we really need to utilize it. And then the third thing is the AI capability in responding to the patient's needs.
Right. I know it's exciting because people are using the platform, able to get rid of some of all the different technology they're using, put it all in one place, and you're an integral part of that. So I know you're a busy physician. I really appreciate you taking time today to share some of that and tell a little bit about where you're located and your practice.
I'm in Lafayette, Louisiana, and I started opening my practice recently as Chu Precision Health to try
Awesome.
and help people out.
I know you're changing lives there. We appreciate all you do, and I really appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Carol.